Okay, everybody, we're moving into Chapter 9, here where the sunbeams are green. Chapter 9. The second we slide into the concrete courtyard of the Selva Lodge on our muddy sneakers in rain that's like taking 30 showers all at once, the door to the kitchen of the Selva Cafe pops open, as though someone has been waiting for us. And who should be standing there but the witch and her black lace veil, gesturing us inside. I'd really rather just go back to our room and rest and try not to freak out and try to figure out exactly what we saw up there and what it means and what we can do about it. But Rue grabs my hand and pulls me toward the kitchen. Abuela, calls out across the courtyard, jogging over to the doorway and disappearing inside. Abuela, abuela. I know that word. I search my memory and wait a second, doesn't that mean grandmother? The witch is Kyle's grandmother? I don't realize I said it aloud until Rue corrects me. The fairy godmother is Kyle's grandmother, duh. You didn't know that? Of course, it makes sense. Kyle comes here every summer. He's related to the spooky old lady and the sweet old man. But somehow I had totally missed that fact until now. Why do you think his name is Kyle Nelson Villalobos? Rue asks. I just look at her. The fact is, I didn't know his name was Kyle Nelson Villalobos, and I wondered how Rue did. I guess she just knows that the same way that she knew Dad was wearing a tracking device. Man, there's just simply no competing with Rue. Come on, she says, tugging me with her across the courtyard and into the kitchen. It's a big white kitchen with oversized appliances and a gray linoleum floor. But somehow, it still feels kind of cozy. There are bright striped dish rags hanging on a bar above the enormous stove, and red plastic chairs at the metal table in the middle of the room, and one of those neat spiral stairways in the far corner. I wonder where it leads. Spiral staircases always seem to me like they must lead somewhere special. Kyle is already seated in one of the red plastic chairs. The witch is pouring a thick red liquid into the glass in front of him. The word poison jumps up into my mind. Hi, I say, standing near the doorway as Rue hops over to the table, pulls out a chair, and plops herself down. Un licuado de papaya y hibisco, the witch says. Oh, a papaya and hibiscus smoothie, Rue exclaims as the witch pours another glass. Damelo. Oh, I say awkwardly, wondering how Rue always makes herself at home wherever she goes, never the least bit anxious or untrusting. Oh, I say awkwardly, wondering, I didn't notice that one on the menu. Abuelo is testing it out on us, Kyle explains, and it's great. It tastes funny, Rue says, around the straw in her mouth. It tastes funny. Oh my God. Yikes. It tastes funny, but I like it. Beneath the black lace, the witch's smile grows. She turns towards me, and I can't help it. I get nervous. You would like to try it? She says in English, and I don't know if she's asking me or telling me. I look around the kitchen at the white countertops and the gleaming white fridge. There's a way outdated calendar on the wall from the year Rue was born, with a picture of a lady saint in a purple robe. I mean, it really does feel pretty good and safe and clean and non-poisonous in here. Plus, haven't I been eating every meal in the Selva Cafe anyway? Besides, whatever's in that red liquid can't be worse than grasshoppers. I'm about to say, okay, sure, papaya and hibiscus, whatever, when I notice the bowl of fruit on the counter. Flies laze through the air above it, bouncing around among the papayas and mangoes. Ew. I'm not hungry, I whisper, staring at the flies. It's a drink, Rue insists. You don't have to be hungry. I'm not thirsty either. The witch goes over to the bowl of fruit and flicks at the flies. If you are not thirsty, Querida, then it must be story time, the witch says, pointing at one of the red plastic chairs. Story time. I have no idea what she means by that, but I cross my arms and plunk down into the chair because I bet she's going to keep staring at me from behind the veil until I do as she wishes. Slowly, she lowers herself into the seat across from me. Once upon a time, she begins, and even with just those 4 words, my mind starts to calm down and listen. A brave young man from the village had a habit of walking up the volcano where nobody else went. He always wore a cloak as blue as dusk, and everyone in the village was scared of him. One day he walked all the way to the rim of the volcano, and there he saw a young woman. She lived inside the volcano. She was a goddess. Of course, they fell in love because they were both so strong and so brave. He wished to marry her, and she wished to marry him too, but she pretended she did not. He got very sad. For months he asked her why she would not marry him. Finally, he forced it out of her. If he wanted to be her husband, he would have to jump into the volcano. That was the only way she could be married. She came up to the surface for just a couple of hours a day. The hours spent with, "Oh, man, Senora V, you speak such perfect English," Rue butts in. "I want to speak Spanish the way you speak English." I shoot Rue a shush look because I hate it when a good story gets interrupted, and she hushes. And then I wonder what's up with Rue calling Senor Villalobos Senora V. I guess that's just Rue doing her thing, giving nicknames to anyone she likes. But Senora V doesn't seem to mind either the interruption or the name. "I have to be able to speak English to the mother of my grandson," she explains. "And you will speak perfect Spanish someday, querida." "Keep going, please," I say. "Hello, you just can't stop at the climax of a story." Senora V looks over at me. I'm surprised to see the pleased grin on her veiled lips before continuing. "The young man said that was fine. He would jump into the volcano." She explained that he would die and that their marriage would be that of a ghost and a goddess. Again, he did not mind. This is how much he loved her. He was so strong, so young, so full of life, that it made the volcano goddess very, very sad to think of him dying. But he was determined. He stood on the rim of the volcano and jumped. At the last second, she could not stand to see him drown in lava. She raised her finger and gave him wings. He pulled up away from the lava just in time, and before he flew away from the mouth of the volcano, a single drop splashed on his throat and left a fiery streak. He had been transformed into a bird with feathers as blue as dusk and on the throat as golden as lava. But the magic of the volcano goddess was very powerful and could not be undone even by her. She could not transform him from a bird back into a man. For the rest of time, the volcano bird would dwell in the jungle near the top of the volcano, soaring over the pool of lava, forever seeking union with the volcano goddess. Rue gasps. "The lava-throated volcano Shh! Senora V hisses at Rue, turning very witch-like again. "You know you must not say that name here. Remember what happened last time?" "Last time? Huh?" "The electricity cannot go out now," the witch growls. I have a flan in the oven." A flan is like, I think it's bread in the oven. "Oh," Rue says, blushing. "Supposedly it upsets the volcano goddess to hear her beloved's name spoken by a child," Kyle explains. "Reminds her of the children they can't have." Oh, yeah, Kyle. I had gotten so caught up in the story that I'd forgotten about him being right there next to me. Wow, it gives my heart a little jump start, the way he says beloved. What boys I know would ever use the word beloved? And then I feel my cheeks getting all flushed because into my head pops this image of Kyle marching up the volcano in a blue cloak, his face serious and solemn and full of love. Muy poroso, comes from a voice in the doorway, and we all turn. It's Senor V, Rue exclaims, her nickname for Senora Villalobos, extending now to the old man as well. So Senora means lady and Senor means man in Spanish. And there he is in his bright white linen suit with its bright orange handkerchief. I can't believe I didn't realize he was Kyle's grandfather. How could I not have noticed that he has the exact same thoughtful look in his bright brown eyes? Muy peligroso, he says. Okay, Rue says, rolling her eyes. I'm sorry, I get it. I know it's dangerous to say the bird's name. It's powerful. I got it. This is not a joke, the witch says severely. Senor V steps across the room and murmurs something into the witch's ear. She sighs and gazes at me and Rue through her black lace. There are 4 truths about the volcano, she finally says. This is going to be important. I learned them when I was a girl, and my husband learned them when he was a boy. Beside me, Kyle clears his throat and stares angrily at his grandmother. The time has come to tell them, the witch informs him. They're just kids, Kyle says. Just kids? Ouch. Ouch to the max. Why does Kyle have to group me with Rue as though I'm not closer to his age than hers? Do I really just seem like a kid to him? They are his daughters, the witch replies. I'm not sure it'll even help, Kyle mutters. Help what? I want to ask, but that's probably the kind of thing a kid would say. Time is running out, she says, and if we do not tell them, they may stumble upon it in a most dangerous fashion. They already almost did. You know how this one is. She points at Rue. Then she turns back to face us. You already know the first truth of the volcano. Children must not utter the name of the volcano bird aloud. Got it, Rue says. I'm glad she doesn't roll her eyes. I'm starting to feel very nervous. I'm not superstitious because Dad has 0 patience for that. I don't think words can be magic spells, and I know it's just a coincidence that the electricity happened to go out when Rue said, you know what. But I am scared of the witch, and she doesn't want us to say the lava-throated volcano trogon, so I sure as heck won't. And you know what else? I don't really want to know what the other 3 truths are. I think I'd rather just go and take a nap or a shower. I don't like sitting here wondering, what difference does it make that we're Dad's daughters? What is time running out for? The second truth, the witch announces. Anyone who tries to capture the volcano bird will be driven insane. Well, considering the bird's extinct, I guess we don't have to worry about that one, I say brightly. Because the volcano goddess still wants to protect her bird, right? Rue says, gazing at the witch. The witch ignores me and smiles at Rue. Wait, I have to go back over this. Well, considering the bird is extinct, I guess we don't have to worry about that one, I say brightly. Because the volcano goddess still wants to protect her bird, right? Rue says, gazing at the witch. So the volcano goddess will cause anyone to catch the lava-throated volcano trogon to go insane. Because she's trying to protect it, she doesn't want it caught. So the witch ignores me and smiles at Rue. To counterbalance the witch, I frown at Rue. The thrilled, fascinated expression on my little sister's face is the only is only adding to the melodrama. I can tell she's hanging on to the witch's every word when she should be taking all of this with a grain of salt. Dad always taught us to take everything with a grain of salt. I'm going to stop right there. So grain of salt, of course, means it's a tiny little thing. What's happening here is that Magpie or Madeline is thinking this is ridiculous, that it's not based on scientific fact. And her father is a scientist, so that's why her father always says, do not believe anything that doesn't have science behind it. Rather, treat it like it's a little grain of salt. But Rue, in this case, certainly is believing every word the witch is saying, right? Let's see what happens next. So, third, the witch continues, her face reflecting Rue's glow. The volcano can restore lost youth. So he'll always be as young as he was when she fell in love with him, Rue says. Geez, I wish I weren't so quite into this. I wish she weren't so full of belief about an old myth, a cool old myth, sure, but a myth, a made-up story. And fourth, once the last bird dies, the volcano will blow, because they'll finally be reunited, Rue exclaims. Then she adds doubtfully, or because she'll be so angry that the bird is dead. Well, who knows? I say, my voice high and peppy to cover the unpleasant feeling in my stomach. Too bad the volcano didn't blow when the species went extinct. Then we'd know myths are true. That would be pretty cool. Oh, Kyle is staring at me. The witch is staring at me. Senor V is staring at me. They're all still staring at me. You're right, Kyle says slowly. The volcano hasn't blown yet. They're all still staring at me, and Rue is smiling like she knows a secret. Well, Rue says after a moment, maybe it hasn't blown yet because the last bird isn't dead yet. Oh my gosh. Dad told us about Lazarus species. Lazarus species are probably his number one favorite thing in the world. That's when a species is believed to be extinct, turns out not to be extinct, which is why it's named after Lazarus. Lazarus was the guy who Jesus supposedly raised from the dead, and that's a Bible story. So there was this prophet named Jesus, and his friend named Lazarus died, and he brought Lazarus back to life in the Bible story. So that's why Dad calls any extinct bird that happens to be seen or spotted again, he's calling it a Lazarus species, that it was brought back to life. Dad said the idea that an extinct bird might not be extinct helps him get out of bed in the morning. So here we are in the kitchen of the Selva Cafe, sitting at the silence following Rue's suggestion, and Rue is squirming in her chair and bobbing her head and holding her breath, and then she releases her breath and reaches deep into the pocket of her shorts and digs something out and puts it on the table. A golden feather. A small, delicate, blindingly gold feather. Where the heck did you get that? For the first time ever, Kyle sounds surprised. Up there, Rue says with a shrug. It was just on the ground. How did she sneak that into her pocket without me noticing? I've never found one of these, Kyle murmurs. Not that I haven't tried. There's a strange radiance in his eyes as he reaches for the feather and places it in his palm. What do you think that feather's from, guys? We all stare at it. It glimmers softly under the fluorescent lights, looking more precious than actual gold. Lying there in his hand, the feather almost seems to whisper, life, life, life. The witch and the old man glance at each other, and I hear Toller's voice echoing through my head. Think that was one of them, Dr. Wade? Then it hits me in the stomach and in the heart. The bird, I whisper, shocked. It's not extinct. It's virtually impossible to find the male bird, the witch says, and it is impossible to find the female bird, much less her eggs. That is why everyone, most everyone, believes the species is extinct. This is why Dad was so happy when he first came down here, Rue explodes. The really good news, the big secret, it's that Dad saw a Lazarus species. Okay, fine, maybe. But Rue is forgetting something huge, the weirdness. If Dad had succeeded in tracking a Lazarus species. Why the weirdness? Oh, and then it dawns on me in a dark and horrible way. Anyone who tries to capture the volcano bird will be driven insane. I look over at Rue and watch her grin droop and a frown as she realizes it too. Madeline, the witch says, Ruby, your father has been. We know, I say, pretending I'm not close to crying. He tried to capture the bird, probably so he could gather information about it. And now, if your volcano truths are true, he must be crazy. And he's been acting crazy. Okay, great. What next? That is not all. The witch's voice couldn't sound sadder. He has not only been trying to capture the bird, he has been trying to kill it. I laugh when she says that. A short, miserable laugh, but a laugh. How to explain this to a witch? Dad would never, ever, ever, ever try to kill a bird, much less a member of the Lazarus species. You're wrong, Rue informs the witch. We have observed your father in the jungle on the volcano, the witch murmurs. Tracking the last of them. He has been unsuccessful at least, he has been successful at least twice. In January and again in May, we saw him capture the birds. He did not kill any birds, Rue insists. He may have captured them, but he did not kill them. Believe me. I'm grateful that Rue is saying all the exact right things because I'm having trouble finding my own voice right now. The flesh was found, the witch says very softly. All the bones removed, rotting up there deep in the heart of the jungle. And I get this image in my head of a pile of bloody flesh and twisted tendons. A dark feeling moves down my spine, and suddenly my fingers get shaky. Up there in that grove, Kyle adds, where you were this afternoon, where you saw your father, the place I told you not to go because bad things happen there. Dad would never kill a bird, and he would never, ever kill that bird. Rue's voice is rising by the second. You do not know him anymore, the witch says. He has changed. He is not a bad man, but he is not himself right now. And the truth is, there's not much we can say to that. Oh my. Rue turns to look at me. But why? She says softly, asking just me. Why would Dad kill a Lazarus bird? I don't even have it in me to shrug, and no one else replies either. It's La Lava, Rue exclaims. La Lava is making him do it. We saw him with this scientist guy who... Make sure I'm on the right page. Who? Dad wouldn't kill a bird just because people were telling him to do it, I scold Rue. How can she have so little faith in Dad? She knows better than anyone else how brave he is. He'd stand up to anyone who wanted him to do something idiotic like that. Who knows why they want the volcano birds dead, Kyle says, ignoring me, but they do. We can't waste time wondering about their reasons. Senor V says something to Kyle and the witch in Spanish, and I guess Rue understands too because she says, we have to stop him. He will listen to his daughters, the witch hisses. You'll think he'll listen to us? You'll think he'll listen to us? I say, remembering the way he was when we visited him in the white marble room, acting like we were the last people on Earth on the planet he wanted to see. You and only you can stop him before he kills the last of the volcano birds. The witch chants at me in ruin almost as though she sang a spell. You and only you can stop him before the volcano blows. The golden feather seems to glow with its own light there in Kyle's palm. Will you do it? Will you do it? Will you do it? The witch whispers from behind the black lace. The rhythm of her question starts to match the rhythm of my heart. Will you stop him? Oh, my goodness. I'm wondering if you can infer why La Lava wants that La Lava throated Trogan captured and killed. Can't wait to talk to you about it. I'll be reading chapter 10 soon. Have a great weekend.